Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today, October 26th. Excuse the pajamas, but I worked this morning. Still got a bit of a cold, and I basically came home, put one movie on, and halfway through it I fell asleep. So I was like, I'm not changing into my into my clothes today. It's a PJ day. So I've got two videos coming at you today. The first one will be week 5 of my horror marathon. So the next video of that will be up November 1st, showing off everything I've watched today to Halloween night. So we'll get started. So first thing off is 1:20, and I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I showed this to my mom. She will never forgive me for it. She did not like it. Damn! But I love it, so Then number 121 was the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Then 122, I watched Zack Snyder's 2004 Dawn of the Dead. I'm gonna have to do a list of all my favorite horror film remakes. I think this is in my top 5, but I don't know. I've said that for a few movies, and I was like, okay, I think I've done my 5. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead. Number 123, I saw in the theater. I think we know what I saw. Which I loved. 9 out of 10 for me. I loved it. And unlike somebody who got fed up with all the homages, yeah, Jenna, I'm talking to you. I loved all the homages. I didn't care that they were throwing them in my face. I'd rather have homages. But yeah, I loved the new Halloween, so yay me. Then I got home and I watched the 2009 remake of Night of the Demons. It's okay, better than the third movie, so yay. Then 125, I watched Lake Placid. I love this movie. My mom and I got to see it in the theater back in 99. So much fun. So much fun. And it was filmed up here, too. Number 126, I watched The Craft. Absolutely awesome 90s classic. I think this came out when I was a teenager, 15, 16. Loved it. It's one of my favorites. And 127 was a first time viewing, and oh my god. Slumber Party Massacre. I thought it was just going to be fun stupid, and to me it ended up being stupid stupid, which sucks. So, because like I've said, the first time viewings have not really been up to par this marathon. Halloween is the only 9 out of 10, and everything else, there's been some 7.5s, there's been some 7s, and everything below is basically garbage, pond, la-da-da, and unfortunately this one is it. And I feel bad about that because I really wanted to like that. So, turn the page of my book. So number 128, I watched the very first Wes Craven film I ever saw back in 1991, and that is The People Under the Stairs. I love this movie. I don't know where it would rank in my favorite Wes Craven films. Maybe number 3 or 4, because obviously the first 2 belong to Nightmare on Elm Street and New Nightmare, but between this and The Hills Have Eyes, I don't know where it would sit, but I love The People Under the Stairs. And number 29, one of my childhood favorites. The movie is in my top 100 favorite films of all time. Number 16, and that is Tremors. I love this movie. My dad, who I've stated does not like horror films, he loves this film. So that's saying a lot, but this is an awesome, awesome movie. If you haven't checked it out, I so recommend it. And speaking of my dad, another horror film that we actually went to see in the theater, he loved it. Number 130, and that is Idle Hands. Yeah, my dad loved this one. Yay! And so did I, so did my mom. It's great soundtrack, great everything. It's just funny as hell. So, number 131 was a first time viewing, and I watched Creepshow. I gave it a 7 out of 10, but I think I was expecting a lot more from all the praise that it's gotten, but I'm still keeping it. I'm just not gonna spend the 30 some odd dollars for the Scream Factory release, because if I liked it a little bit more, then maybe I'd get it. But I gave it a 7 out of 10. But that I was expecting a hell of a lot more. But it's still the keeper. So number 131, Creepshow, first time viewing. And then I watched the only one out of the franchise I'm gonna watch, 132, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Awesome, awesome. And then another first time viewing, I watched, went back to the kid horror. I watched Howard Lovecraft and the Frozen Kingdom. Or not Frozen Kingdom, Undersea Kingdom. Frozen Kingdom was the first one. And, Jeffrey Combs voices a character in this. He can not get away from the Lovecraft stuff. And Mark Hamill, of course, Luke Skywalker, Ron Perlman, and Christopher Plummer, and of course, Doug Bradley. And you know what? These are enjoyable. They're only like 70 to 80 minutes long, but they were enjoyable. And they're gonna, it's odd enough, but it's gonna introduce a whole bunch of people, little kids to H.P. Lovecraft, so, which is cool. And there's a third one coming out, so I'll watch this. 7 out of 10, first time viewing. I enjoyed it. And then 134, again, the only one from the series I will watch. That is the original Friday the 13th. Sorry about the glare. Because I didn't want to take it out and just show Friday the 13th. Just show the box set in all its epic glory. Then 135... La 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 la. This beautiful thing called Reanimator. Love this movie, and I only saw it for the first time 3 years ago, but that was a good thing, because if I would have watched it when I was a teenager, I don't think I would have liked it as much. I think the comedy would have gone completely over my head. But yeah, this is one of the 6 copies of this film I own. I figure if everybody can have so many bloody copies of every single Halloween movie, I can have 6 copies of Reanimator. 136 and 137 was a double feature, first time viewing. And I watched Tales from the Crypt and The Vault of Horror. Both were 6.5 out of 10. But at the end of Vault of Horror, I felt like I wanted to give both of these a rewatch in the near future to see if my rating will change. Because I don't know, I just felt off watching these. Though I did get a kick out of the fact that one of the people in this is Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor. And actually, one of the people in that segment is Marcus Brody from Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. But yeah, I'm keeping this for now, because in the near future, I want to give both of them a rewatch, because I think I missed a lot. I was paying attention, but I don't know, because I know that was the day I started getting sick, so I'll keep these and give them another rewatch in the near future, but for now, both of them are 6.5 out of 10. And then 138, I went to A Nightmare Before Christmas, and this will get watched in my Christmas marathon. I do Christmas marathons, movie marathons, but because they also had this stuff, action and horror. But I love this movie again. Another movie I didn't watch till like 10 years ago, which was good, because I don't know if everybody's like, this and Hocus Pocus, why didn't I watch back in 93? I was more obsessed with Jurassic Park. I'm being truthful, I was more obsessed with Jurassic Park than either of those two. So there we go, 138, Nightmare Before Christmas. And back to another nightmare, 139, the only one I'm going to watch. The original Nightmare on Elm Street. Love, 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 love. And then 140, I watched Carpenter's classic, The Thing. I swear, I'm one of the only people who doesn't count this as a remake, because The Thing from Another World, to me, it's its own little thing. I should have said movie. I knew I was going to screw that up. But this, because Carpenter focused more on the short story than the old movie. That's why I don't really consider this a remake, but that's just me. So, 140, The Thing. 141, I watched Bride of Reanimator in all its epic glory. So, what can you say about this? It's funny. And 142, another first time viewing, and this one was a letdown, and it was so freaky because I just finished watching it, and the actor who was in that in the original Return of the Living Dead. Oh fuck, I blew it. In the original one, yeah, no, it was Return of the Living Dead Part 2. But the guy in this, in the first one, and Poltergeist, he passed away. They announced it like not even an hour after I finished watching it. But to me, I loved the first one, and I watched it for the first time 2 years ago. But it seemed to me with this, they just rehashed everything, added a couple of new characters, but it was basically the same characters. And sometimes I was just waiting for certain people to just die in this movie and be quiet. So yeah, this was a bit of a letdown. Very sad about that, and about the guy passing away. But he had a good kick in the can. He was 94. But it was just a little freaking eerie that he passed. Like, they announced that he had passed away not even an hour after I finished watching this. But it's 6 out of 10, which just annoys the shit out of me, because I was going in with very high hopes of this. But, damn, Pawn Pile, which sucks. Well, actually, I might see if my mom will want to watch it. I don't think she's seen this or the first one. So there we go, number 142, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Then 143, I watched another Carpenter classic. I watched They Live. Love this movie. Absolutely love this. So, it has one of the greatest lines in history. We all know what that is. So there we go. 143, They Live. 144, I watched The Conjuring. To me, one of the best modern horror films of all time. Because I've stated a few times, I'm not a fan of It Follows, The Babadook, or The Witch, and some of the other ones like Get Out, Don't Breathe, Hereditary. I haven't watched yet. I'm saving for next week because I am off work next week. Thank God. But I love this film. I didn't go see it in the theater, which really annoyed the shit out of me because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I should have gone and seen it in the theater. But yeah, I love this movie. Number 144, The Conjuring. And 144 was The Conjuring, and 145 was its sequel, which I did go see in the theater and loved it. For the longest time, Psycho 2 was my favorite horror film sequel of all time, and now it's Conjuring 2. Great. Cannot wait for Conjuring 3. Don't know when it's coming out, but I don't care. I will so go see it because they are awesome. 146, I went back to Carpenter again. In the Mouth of Madness. I love this movie. My mom and I saw it together back in 94. Was it 94 or 95 when this came out? 95. Watched it on the old VHS, and we both loved it. And it has a lot of nods to H.P. Lovecraft, which I love. But yeah, I love this movie. It's a very underrated Carpenter gem. And then end this video with a movie I know I might get a little shit about, but I watched Blair Witch. I actually like this one. It's definitely an improvement over Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. And this is 147. I usually don't hit 147 until Halloween night. Whoa, I'm definitely going to beat my record of 150. Even though I've only watched one today because I needed to sleep. But yeah, Blair Witch, it's an okay film. It's definitely an improvement over Book of Shadows, but definitely not as great as the first one. So there we go. That is what I have watched since last Friday morning. So the final video of this will be up on November 1st, because I will be going until midnight. But there will be no more ones to see in the theater, because I need to have a break. I've been sick the last couple of days. I mean, I called in sick on Wednesday and Thursday. I went in tonight because it was only a 4-hour, and I was like, you're going in. Don't matter. And I'm still a little sick. Just not as bad as I was yesterday. But, my mom's sick. I had to take her to the ER on Wednesday because, she was having a lot of problems breathing. So we ended up being there for 4 hours, and then Walmart for 2, waiting for her prescriptions. Because we just didn't want to, like, go home, get comfortable, and then in 45 minutes have to go back down. So, it's just going to be a quiet week, so that I can get through some of these goddamn first-time viewings. I had to put more away, because I'm not going to get through them all. Okay, so, enough bragging. I will end this video and get started on the next one, because I didn't think these were coming because some of you may or may not know our postal service up here in Canada has gone on strike. They announced Vancouver area was the postal workers there were going to walk off, and I thought, no, they're here. I want them. Well, not even half an hour ago, our doorbell rang and they came. So you probably know what they are, but I won't say. I'll save that for the next video, which will be up in a couple of moments. So I'm not gonna do my goodbye until, you know, my thing until that video. So I shall see you in the next video in a couple minutes later.